Heritage Footsteps is a heritage lottery-funded project that wants to showcase the historic heart of Salford. When the University of Salford Vice Chancellor learnt from Heritage Footsteps that the old red telephone box outside his office was listed, he immediately decided that the university should adopt the telephone box. This neglected phone box will be refurbished and cared for into the future. It's an early positive result for the Heritage Footsteps project.
I think that taking up this issue of looking after our streetscapes, looking after our heritage, but also worrying about small things is really important. We tend to think the story is all about big things, about big buildings and statues and monuments. But the things that make us happy in urban environments, in my opinion, are little things. They're bollards, they're phone boxes, they're little plaques on bridges, they're trees that we like, they're bus shelters. They're things that are familiar, that really evoke a sense of memory and place. And I think that builds a sense of what we are as community, a sense of rootedness, you know, and that's what's important about it. If we put it in context, we're standing in Fire Station Square, which is at the heart of what Salford used to be, the historic core of this part of Salford. We've got the derelict police station behind us, we've got the fire station sheds behind us, we've got the Museum and Art Gallery across the road, and we've got the Peel building, and these are buildings which really define what that landscape used to be about. Now, something like a telephone box might seem very small in the larger scheme of things, and we certainly don't plan to put anybody inside it as an office, but it's a very important landmark, a part of that history. What I really like to see it is restored and standing where it is, because I think its position is important, and for us to do something appropriate with it that signals something about the Salford heritage. I've put out a call across the university community about what people think that a telephone box can be used for, because the one thing you're not going to put in it is a telephone. And we've had some very, very imaginative suggestions. Some of them really interesting, some of them totally absurd. And we need to look at those and see what we could do with it. I want something that really captures the notion of heritage and is useful and beneficial to people. We don't have a great School of Art and Design for nothing at this university, and I'll certainly be looking to them to see how we can do the restoration. We're in the heart of Salford. We are, apart from the Catholic Church down the road, the only really remaining large institution in the heart of the city. And I think we have a significant public responsibility in that sense, you know, for building, for architecture. So clearly we care about that. In hard self-interested terms, I think it's actually good for our image. I mean, it portrays something of the late 19th century character of this part of the city. I think that's attractive for potential students, for people who want to work with us. It gives some character. And you know, little things in the streetscape are really what define the character. They're the things that we take for granted all the time. But in actual fact, if you strip them out, you know you've lost something when they've gone. And the richness of cities like Salford is there's so much street furniture around, and we might not notice it, but it's what defines the city. So it's part of our image and part of our brand, and I think that's also important as how we position ourselves. We're also trying to create a little bit of depth to our identity in this part of the university. This is the core of our historic university. It goes back to our foundings in the late 1890s as the Salford Working Men's College, which was the Peel building, and it goes with that. It's part of that history. It rather nicely counterbalances our brand new campus down at Media City, which is all very modern and contemporary, and the two go together. So it's part of building our sense of who we are and our identity and our connection with community. So I think that evokes a sense of belonging. I think it does put a smile on people's faces when they go past in the bus or when they walk past on the street, because it gives them a sense that they're going through a real place which has got good buildings in it, which is respectful to history. I mean, I would see it as part of a finished canvas in a way. It's not going to be the phone box alone. We've got to find a solution for the square generally. And I think when people pass through that on buses in the morning, they will be cheerful.
Heritage Footsteps, preserving our heritage with new media.